Hello everybody and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Yesterday in Baseball. My name is Luke. It's November 11th and we've got a great new show for you guys. It's been a little bit since the last show, so we're going to give you guys some news and notes to really catch up on everything. And then we're going to get into our end of season grade for the Anaheim/Los Angeles Angels, so it should be a good show. Leading off now, though, we've got the Rookie of the Year last night. Nick Kurtz won it in the American League. He had 36 homers in 117 games. He had a 1.002 OPS for the year, and Drake Baldwin won it in the NL with 19 homers, 274 batting average, and 810 OPS. Tonight we have Manager of the Year. Wednesday is Cy Young. Thursday is MVP. And Friday we have our own Yesterday in Baseball Awards show. So now, without further ado, let's get into some news and notes. Starting off, we have Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz of the Cleveland Guardians. Both pitchers are facing up to 65 years in prison if they're convicted on all charges. They're allegedly intentionally throwing pitches that were balls to help bettors that they were working with as they were giving out about $5 to $7 grand per occasion that they threw one of these pitches intentionally. Clase and Ortiz agents released a statement claiming that they were both innocent. We'll see. I think no matter what, it's safe to say that they probably won't play in the MLB again. The Diamondbacks said they're interested in moving Ketel Marte, likely looking to potentially dump his salary. Certainly something, to monitor in the next couple months. They're looking for a big return. I'm sure they won't move him if it's not the right price. But kind of an interesting one because the salary, it's expensive, but it's not crazy. So it makes me a little curious the direction that they'll go. And Tarik Skubal and the Tigers are still fairly far apart on extension talks. The Tigers said that they'd have to get an offer they couldn't refuse to want to move Skubal now. But no matter what, they'll likely hold on to him until the deadline this upcoming season. And he will be a free agent after the 2026 season. And I just don't see the Tigers paying what he will get. He's a Scott Boras agent, or he has Scott Boras as his agent. So, should be interesting. Now on the backs of the news and notes, we have a lot of players being posted out of Japan, so I'm going to do a little bit of profile into the big three that are being talked about right now. Starting off, we have Tetsuya Imai. He's a right-handed pitcher from Japan, 27 years old, and he's at 1.92 ERA with 178 strikeouts across 163.2 innings. He'll be represented by Scott Boras, just a big, high strikeout guy, and I think, he'd be a great fit on any team. And then we have Munetaka Murakami. He's a 25-year-old third baseman from Japan. He's mainly known for his bat. He's played 69 games in 2025, and he had 24 homers. And in 2022, he had a whopping 56. They call him the Japanese Babe Ruth. He has some concern about him with his high velocity. He has struggled hitting, he struggles hitting that, but the off speed, he just crushes. And then we have Kazuma Akamoto, 29-year-old third baseman, first baseman, and outfielder. Very solid, 800 OPS guy, career 277 home runs, and while being, older, 29 years old, a lot of people think he's the diamond in the rough of these guys, so should be interesting to see where each of them goes. A lot of people are saying, Murakami's going to go to the Dodgers, but I don't see that happening. They picked up Muncy's option at third, and while I could see them doing that, I think that he's going to likely go elsewhere. So, like I said, it's always kind of fun to see where those guys sign because they're so much more developed than like a minor league signing or a draft pick. So they can get right in and make an immediate impact. So that's always fun. It was announced last Friday that Bobby Witt Jr. and Fernando Tatis Jr. both won Platinum Glove Awards. And then we also had the Silver Slugger announced last week. In the National League, Hunter Goodman won it at catcher, Pete Alonso at first, Ketel Marte at second, Manny Machado at third, Perdomo Perdomo at shortstop, Corbin Carroll in left, Kyle Tucker in center, and Juan Soto in right. I think that's just outfield. Ohtani was DH and Alec Burleson won the Utility Award. In the American League, we had Cal Raleigh won it at catcher, Nick Kurtz at first base, Jazz Chisholm at second, Jose Ramirez at third, Bobby Witt Jr. won it at shortstop, Riley Green in left, Byron Buxton in center, Aaron Judge in right, George Springer won it for the DH, and Zach McKinstry won it for the utility. Now we're going to get into our Los Angeles Angels 2025 end of season grade. They wrapped up this year with a record of 72-90. They finished the first half only 2 games under 500, but had a dismal 25-41 second half to wrap up the year. A 9-win improvement over 2024 though, but they haven't had an 80-win season since 2018. Their top player was their young shortstop Zach Neto, who racked up 5.1 WAR across 123 games, and he got his second 2020 season in as many years. Mike Trout had a good 2025. He only put up 1.5 WAR, but his home run power was there, and he played in 130 contests, which is really important because he had a lot of knee injuries and stuff in 2024 after starting red hot. So seeing him play 130 games most of the year is really a great sign. Some of the offseason acquisitions for the Angels were lackluster, but Yusei Kikuchi and Kenley Jansen both had excellent campaigns. We also got to see Jo Adell finally break out. Despite only putting up 1.1 WAR, he had 37 homers, knocked in 98 RBI, and put up a 111 OPS plus, becoming a reliable threat in the middle of their order. Despite a few good bats, though, they still struggled in offense. They were the 25th ranked offense in the MLB and had the 3rd worst pitching staff in baseball. They're a team that just desperately needs something to change, and they had some momentum in the beginning of the year. But the Angels have kind of felt like the definition of insanity for some time now. I think that they have young players that they can build around: Zach Neto, Jo Adell, Logan O'Hoppe, Nolan Shanwell, and more, but they're just not in a place to be competing, and yet their front office keeps retooling and acquiring players every offseason as if they're going to make a stab at the playoffs. And it's a disappointing year for a team aspiring just to play 500 baseball. They just seem to have a clear lack of understanding and a plan in how to piece together their pitching and their roster construction as a whole, which falls on the front office and the coaching. I would have to give them a D grade for the year. I feel bad for Angels fans who have to sit through mediocrity every year instead of seeing their management commit to a rebuild. They get them in a position where they could restock the farm and compete once again. So, like I said, this is going to land them at a D grade for the 2025 season, unfortunately. So that is everything from Tuesday's show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Like I said, Friday we have a really fun show. We're going to be bringing Alex back, and he's going to be doing an awards show with me where it's not MVP or Rookie of the Year. It's going to be kind of fun, specialized awards. I don't know if this will be one, but like a Chad Innings Eater, something along the lines of that. Who ate the most innings this year? So tune in for that. That'll be a fun time, kind of just goofing around, but also getting to talk some baseball and go over the numbers in still a serious fashion. So if you guys are on YouTube, please consider subscribing and liking if you enjoyed the content. If you're on Spotify, please follow along, and I hope to see you guys again on Friday. Thank you again, and have a great rest of your day.